Everyone wants more money, but almost no one understands it. We chase it, stress over it, and sometimes even hate it, without realizing that money is just a mirror. It reflects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you see yourself. That's why two people can start with the same tools. One builds fortune, the other builds frustration. The difference isn't intelligence. It's psychology. Napoleon Hill understood this nearly a century ago. He studied the richest men in history and found one shocking truth: money doesn't follow effort, it follows energy. Wealth is a mental state long before it becomes a financial one. You don't earn prosperity, you align with it. Every dollar you make is a reflection of the beliefs, emotions, and discipline running your inner world. In this video, you'll learn the mental laws that quietly decide who gets rich and who stays stuck. We'll decode Hill's forgotten lessons and blend them with modern science to show you how to reprogram your mind for real, lasting abundance. Because until you master the psychology of money, every external strategy will fail. But once you do, everything starts flowing. Napoleon Hill discovered a truth that few ever grasp: money doesn't respond to hard work alone, it responds to mental alignment. The richest people aren't just financially skilled, they've built a subconscious relationship with money that's rooted in confidence, not fear. Meanwhile, most people live in silent tension with it, chasing it while secretly resenting it. This contradiction creates mental resistance. The subconscious reads your emotions like code. If you associate money with stress, guilt, or greed, it will avoid you the way a person avoids danger. Hill called this the poverty vibration, a mental frequency that repels opportunity even when you're working hard. You don't earn money, you attract it through harmony of thought and purpose. To think rich, you must first make peace with wealth. See money not as a goal, but as a tool for growth, service, and freedom. The moment your emotions align with that vision, you shift from chasing money to commanding it. And that's where the psychology truly begins, in the beliefs you hold about what you deserve. Napoleon Hill said, "Riches begin with a state of mind." But that state is built from beliefs, silent rules installed long before adulthood. If you grew up hearing money doesn't buy happiness or rich people are corrupt, those words didn't just shape opinions, they shaped your financial identity. Beliefs are invisible architects. They build walls or bridges depending on what you tell your mind is true. The tragedy? Most people spend decades fighting for wealth while their subconscious is programmed to reject it. They sabotage deals, delay action, or settle for less, not because they lack skill, but because they've confused comfort with safety. Hill called this mental poverty, the inability to see oneself as deserving of abundance. Until that belief changes, income will always match insecurity. To rewrite your beliefs, you must confront them. Write down every negative statement you've ever heard about money. Ask yourself, who taught me this, and was that person wealthy? Replace each with empowering truths like, money expands who I am, or I attract wealth through service. This is mental reprogramming, the same process Hill used to transform fear into fortune. And it begins with self-awareness. Napoleon Hill identified fear as the greatest enemy of wealth. Not lack of opportunity. Not bad luck. Fear. It paralyzes decision-making and replaces creativity with survival. Every time you think, what if I fail, your brain releases stress hormones that literally block the same areas responsible for strategic thinking. In short, fear makes you blind to opportunities. Then comes guilt. Many carry emotional baggage around money, believing they'll be judged for wanting more, or that abundance makes them selfish. This guilt is subtle but deadly, it programs the subconscious to self-sabotage. You work hard, but somehow, just before success arrives, something collapses: an argument, a distraction, an unexpected expense. The mind always finds a way to match its emotional story. Hill's solution was radical: transmute emotion into purpose. Don't suppress fear, convert it. Channel the same energy that causes anxiety into learning, service, or bold action. Instead of fearing failure, study it. Replace guilt with gratitude. Wealth isn't a reward for perfection, it's the natural result of emotional mastery. Once fear loses its grip, you awaken a new energy inside: faith, the creative force behind all fortune. Napoleon Hill didn't see faith as religion, he saw it as mental chemistry. He wrote, "Faith is the head chemist of the mind. It's the invisible energy that turns ideas into action and dreams into plans. Faith activates the subconscious and commands it to seek proof of what you believe. Without faith, ideas die in the mind. With it, even the impossible starts organizing itself around you." Faith is not blind optimism, it's emotional conviction. It's waking up before results appear and acting as if they're already real. Science now calls this neural embodiment. The brain can't distinguish between imagination and experience when emotion is present. Hill knew that the moment you feel your success before it exists, the universe begins rearranging itself to match that vibration. Cultivate faith by repetition and vision. Speak your goals daily. See them. Feel them. Expect them. Doubt and fear are mental debts, faith is credit. Every time you invest in faith, you multiply your potential returns. This is why Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Faith isn't wishful thinking, it's the currency that buys opportunity. And once faith grows, it fuels the next evolution, decision. Napoleon Hill said, "Successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them quickly." The ability to decide is the bridge between desire and reality. Most people never cross it. They wait for certainty before acting, not realizing that certainty comes from acting. Indecision is the silent killer of every dream. Every time you postpone a decision, you teach your subconscious that your goals don't matter. And the mind obeys. It stops generating ideas, connections, and motivation, because you trained it not to. Millionaires understand that the perfect plan doesn't exist, momentum creates clarity. They decide, they commit, and they correct course along the way. The secret is, action beats analysis. Hill learned this directly from Carnegie and Edison. Both men made quick, confident decisions, guided by faith rather than fear. They trusted their intuition, knowing that the subconscious works best in movement, not hesitation. Each decision is a vote for the future you want. The longer you hesitate, the louder the world decides for you. And once decision becomes habit, it naturally creates discipline, the backbone of all wealth. Napoleon Hill said, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts." Every empire of success is built on the invisible foundation of consistency. Talent may open doors, but discipline keeps them open. Most people crave motivation, but the wealthy understand a higher truth: discipline is doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline isn't punishment, it's liberation. It frees you from moods, excuses, and emotional storms. Hill observed that most failures begin the moment emotion overrules logic. When you train the mind to obey purpose instead of comfort, you become unstoppable. Discipline turns ordinary habits into extraordinary momentum. It's not glamorous, but it's magnetic. To master discipline, simplify your path. Remove distractions, automate good habits, and schedule your priorities, not the other way around. One focused hour beats 10 distracted ones. Hill called this the power of organized effort. When your daily actions align with your definite purpose, success stops being random. And once discipline becomes identity, it naturally evolves into persistence, the fire that outlasts failure. Napoleon Hill said, "Most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure." Persistence isn't about force, it's about faith in motion. It's the quiet, invisible quality that separates the almost successful from the legendary. While the world celebrates results, persistence celebrates resistance. It thrives on what others call too hard. The average person quits when progress slows. The millionaire keeps going because he understands that delay is part of design. Success often hides behind boredom, repetition, and temporary defeat. Hill called these tests of faith. The universe isn't saying no, it's asking, how badly do you want it? The ones who persist long enough to answer that question rewrite their destiny. To build persistence, stop treating failure as a verdict and start treating it as feedback. Each setback sharpens wisdom, endurance, and humility. Think of Edison's 10,000 failed attempts, each one a step closer to mastery. Persistence is emotional resilience dressed as routine. And when persistence becomes second nature, it opens the final gate of all lasting wealth, gratitude, the vibration that keeps abundance flowing. Napoleon Hill said, "When you are grateful for what you have, you are already rich." Gratitude is not an emotion, it's a frequency. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's multiplying. Most people chase wealth from a place of lack, unknowingly broadcasting scarcity. Gratitude flips that signal. It tells the subconscious, "I already live in abundance," and the universe responds with proof. Gratitude is the final stage of mastery because it completes the cycle of creation. Faith starts the process, persistence sustains it, and gratitude amplifies it. Hill taught that when you give thanks before the result, you activate the law of increase. What you appreciate, appreciates. Gratitude isn't passive, it's a generator. It recharges energy, sharpens intuition, and magnetizes opportunity. Start simple. Each morning, list 3 things you're grateful for, 1 from the past, 1 from the present, 1 from the future you're manifesting. Feel it as truth. That emotional vibration aligns your mind with abundance. When gratitude becomes your default state, money stops being a pursuit and becomes a companion. Because in Hill's words, your only real wealth is the harmony of your own mind. Now you understand what Napoleon Hill discovered long before modern psychology caught up. Money is never the goal, it's a result. The way you think about wealth determines how much of it you can hold. You don't have a money problem, you have a mind pattern that's either attracting or repelling it. The richest people aren't chasing numbers, they're mastering energy, emotion, and focus. So ask yourself, what belief is still costing you abundance? Is it fear of failure? Guilt about success? The habit of settling for enough? Every dollar lost to doubt is a lesson, not punishment. Because your subconscious is always listening. And the moment you start speaking wealth fluently, through gratitude, discipline, and faith, your outer world adjusts to match. Remember Hill's timeless truth, your only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind. So, tell me, what are you ready to rewrite today? Drop it in the comments below, backhand index pointing down. And if this message awakens something inside you, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and join this movement of conscious creators. Because in the end, money doesn't make you rich, your mind does.